advantage.
Absolutely. Kick him when he is down. A guy like Kidd, do not let him get up.
The tag goes to Samoa Joe.
Tag made to Wheeler Yuta. Joe picked up the victory on Wheeler Yuta this past Wednesday night at Dynamite. The Kikina clutch. Yuta, the immediate tap out.
Yuta spent a lot of time with John Moxley and the members of the Death Riders working on his grappling ability, submission avoidance as well. Joe has such a power and a size advantage against Yuta. Very hard for this young man.
Attempting to use his technique, the drop toe hold. Easier said than done when attempted on Samoa Joe as Joe takes that tight headlock.
So equally feared and revered in the industry, certainly violence manifest. Found the perfect blend in the running mates that he has in the Opps, but his powerhouse Hobbs comes in there, taking the attention of the official. We should probably talk about the cold-hearted, handsome elephant in the room. Hobbs.
CP's former member of the Opps, Hook, he was injured by Claudio Castagnoli and Wheeler Yuta, still out of action. He made his return that Anarchy in the Arena match, taking out Claudio Castagnoli courtesy of a golf club, but shared a very cold look with Samoa Joe. Joe was happy to see Hook, but Hook did not seem to return the sentiment.
Did not put out the welcome mat, certainly, and one wonders, oh, Joe not concerned about that right now, though. After the victory past Wednesday, certainly Joe's got to feel confident.
Oh, yeah. Don't open your face up to Joe like that. He's got one of the best jams in all of AEW.
I'm not sure that Wheeler Yuta had any say in the matter. As Samoa Joe and Zigiri staggers the young member of the Death Riders as Powerhouse Hobbs seen his first legal action of the match.
The chant of meat goes out. They like meat here in Texas, from what I understand.
They say they know a thing or two about that. Not too far from the stockyards here at DFW. Powerhouse Hobbs with Yuta in his grip. Yuta finds himself inverted, delayed vertical suplex by Hobbs. Hobbs drives him down.
And the blood rushed to the head of Wheeler Yuta. And now, do his best to get out of that corner.
Yeah, Nigel, to your point, I mean, the blood rushes to your head, but when you come crashing down like that, the blood just returns immediately to all of your extremities. It's very, very destabilizing.
Disorienting, certainly. That can play a factor as well. But again, Wheeler Yuta, who has suffered his cover.
Battle press.
Suffered a lot in the Death Riders in terms of, I don't want to say being the whipping boy, but certainly, you know, when there's a difficult task to be done, Wheeler Yuta gets it.
You can say whipping boy. I mean, I often thought that he was held hostage by John Moxley, or
yeah, but it turns out he's just brainwashed.
That's the word. Well, Wheeler Yuta's in a tough spot here. Wow.
But Yuta, I mean, I have to say, to his credit, has been toughened up by the hard lessons from John Moxley, the AEW World Champion, from Claudio Castagnoli, from Kidd, even from the Bastard Pack as well.
I have to agree, that's some tough guys to learn from.
So, look at that.
Yuta takes down Katsuyori Shibata, and in comes Claudio Castagnoli.
Castagnoli, the linchpin of the Death Riders. Sinewy, strong.
Castagnoli collected the pinfall victory this past Wednesday night over Katsuyori Shibata in that huge all-star 8-person tag team match. And now these two picking up right where they left off just 3 days ago.
European uppercut of Castagnoli, as good as anyone. Primed. Bam, look how quick that is.
Look at that, they are just eating each other's European uppercut and coming back for more.
Castagnoli, who has the height advantage on Shibata, able to get a little bit deeper. Wow!
Actually really wound up with that one, but Shibata comes flying in with the boot. Shibata may have the advantage. Drop kick in the corner. Shibata on target. Yeah! Cover made, again, lateral press. Castagnoli able to kick out.
Shibata, who they're making a tag to Samoa Joe. Step off perhaps, again, after that pile driver on Collision this week. Maybe not 100%.
Now, these two men, Samoa Joe and Claudio, have known each other very, very intensely since '06, back in Ring of Honor, where they were there.
Now cover made, the far leg hooked. Claudio able to kick out.
I'm coming for you, boy. Yeah, I'm coming for you.
Yeah, I mentioned earlier that Gabe Kidd has done on a number of occasions with Samoa Joe.
And for how typically collected Samoa Joe is, Gabe Kidd is so great at trash talking and baiting in opponents and having to make unforced errors like Samoa Joe just did, as Hobbs trying to appeal to referee Rick Knox, but the Death Riders and the mercenary Gabe Kidd going to work on Joe on the floor.
Gabe Kidd spent plenty of time in a mental hospital, from what I understand, in England, seeing someone drink their own urine, so that might have an effect on your brain. Dare I say, Tony?
Where do you get this information from?
I do my
this is
did an
crazy.
interview with RJ City. It's called Doing Research, Tony.
Now repeated shots to the midsection of Samoa Joe and a right hand into the jaw. Gabe Kidd. He's not a small man by any standards. Giving up size to Samoa Joe, but very powerful hands.
And now biting. Utah getting a little bit of payback and retribution as well, and certainly Gabe Kidd coming over here off camera, giving Tony Schiavone a shellacking as well.
And Kidd called this a domination. Right now, I mean, he's not far off. It's Claudio just launching himself at Shibata, and a very frustrated Hobbs being cautioned by referee Rick Knox.
Ventia, John Moxley, the leader. Whoa, Death Riders.
That's an explosion out of the corner.
Had a word to Yuta and Castagnoli about how important this match is, what it would do for Moxley and the Death Riders to add momentum, to reclaim those trios titles.
I mean, it really would set the tone for the night for the Death Riders. Opening the event by reclaiming the World Trios Championship and then closing it down potentially with John Moxley remaining with his grip around the AEW World Championship.
Talked earlier, Tony, about the perception of Samoa Joe on the way to the ring. It's the perception, wins and losses, opening out All In. A big factor. Ooh, that rolling barrel kick. Oh, and the nose of Castagnoli flattened into the mat.
This big, bruising, strong man just throwing their bodies at each other, their heads, and
they are crammed in here. Globe Life film, and in comes the beats.
And fans, you can find your favorite AEW stars and official AEW merchandise by searching Shop the Show in your Amazon shopping app. As Powerhouse Hobbs going to war on the Death Riders and Gabe Kidd.
boy, Hobbs. We're looking at a man that ranks third in singles wins with 88 in his career. How about that for a number? Of all the great singles matches we've had.
Hit from behind. Oh, Kidd taking off his feet.
Wrong thing to do. Hobbs maybe made a big mistake by turning his attention, but then maybe not.
Spinebuster!
Spinebuster by Hobbs. The cover. No, Yuta intervenes.
The granite and irascible Powerhouse Hobbs taken down now. This kid, he's a madman.
Kidd receiving the contact from Powerhouse Hobbs, but some power there from Claudio Castagnoli. The uppercut, the cover, and very nearly the win.
How high he put Powerhouse Hobbs in the air. And Claudio now saying, up Yuta. And here comes Yuta.
Claudio and Yuta, they've used that fastball special effectively, but the strength.
Whoa, watch this.
Claudio very nearly unparalleled. This maybe a doomsday device situation here.
No way Castagnoli was going to allow that to get to 3.
Well, that was brand new. Never had seen that before, and that was amazing from Powerhouse.
Now Yuta finding himself isolated by the Opps. Joe capping it off the snapmare center of the ring. The PK! Katsuyori Shibata, the cover. Castagnoli there to break it up.
Great opening match. I tell you, the Opps looking great. They have come back many, many times.
As Hobbs trying to drag Claudio Castagnoli to the floor. Castagnoli, Hobbs battling it out. As Gabe Kidd looking for the tag. Oh, wait a second. Claudio Castagnoli on the floor. A giant swing into the barricade.
Wasn't much of a swing, but boy, it had an impact. Oh, Mike, right now we're going to have a two-on-two here.
I don't know. Now on the outside, Castagnoli probably more likely of the two to get back in the ring, but wait a second.
Shibata and Yuta, they've had their share of battles. Cover here. German suplex. Their share of battles for the Ring of Honor Pure Championship in the past.
Absolutely.
And Gabe Kidd. Yeah. Like I mentioned, very familiar with Shibata as well. And Shibata fired up, but he ate a jaw to the right hand to the jaw. A sheer drop brainbuster. The cover, and Shibata kicking out barrel to one.
Once again, the fighting spirit of Shibata.
He's taken so much punishment the last few days. After the punishment he took Thursday that we discussed, it's
Nigel, you mentioned that head injury that very nearly ended Katsuyori Shibata's career. It's not lost on Gabe Kidd that it came from a headbutt very similar to that.
Yeah, Gabe Kidd,
That's dirty cool.
willing to do whatever it takes to win. No compunction.
Uh-oh. There he comes. Slugfest going on. Like we mentioned earlier, two men who have known each other since Ring of Honor 06.
Well, this is Gabe Kidd and Samoa Joe. Hammer.
Oh, yes!
The power slam. The cover. The top cover, but Castagnoli intervenes.
And there, to my point, Castagnoli took out Hobbs on the outside, which allowed him to get in, and now has allowed him to get the advantage back in the favor of the Death Riders.
As Castagnoli calling out the plays to Wheeler Yuta, maybe think of that fastball special they've used, that assisted splash.
Exactly right, Excalibur.
Way up there, but Hobbs.
Oh, man.
Steaming in, smashes into Castagnoli. Gabe Kidd goes to the outside with Hobbs. Shibata.
Oh, he's in the wrong place.
Shibata comes in for the kick. Samoa Joe cuts that off.
Muscle Buster!